Memorial Day is this weekend, and that means many people are getting out their grills. And Jen Holm is here to answer the question if there's any danger to grilling.
Well, Liz, we all are excited about getting outside, but in recent years, some studies have shown that grilling meat at high temperatures can cause cancer. In today's House Calls, Dr. Dominic Nompleggi, the Chief of Gastroenterology at UMass Memorial Medical Center, joins us live via Skype with some answers. Thank you for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you.
Well, what happens to meat when it's cooked at high temperatures?
What happens when particularly red meats are cooked at very high temperatures, there are certain chemicals that are produced, called heterocyclic aromatic carbons, HCAs, or polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, and these are the potential carcinogens. The way they are thought to be carcinogens is that they act on the DNA and cause injury to the genes.
What types of cancers are linked to cooking meat at these high temperatures?
Yes.
What type of cancers? Are there certain types of cancers that are linked to cooking at high temperatures?
Well, the data on this isn't as clear-cut as it is with other carcinogens like tobacco. And so when we talk about these, we talk about maybe, could be, probably are associated with particular cancers. And for the most part, in people who eat lots of red meat, that increase in cancer has been seen mainly in colon cancer, stomach cancer, and somewhat in breast cancer.
So is it true with non-red meat as well? Chicken or fish cooking on the grill?
It is, but far less so. And interestingly, one piece of information is that it's been shown that if you marinate the meat before you cook it at these high temperatures, fewer of these chemicals are produced, and the risk for cancer goes down tremendously.
So what can people do, other things that people can do to reduce their risk of cooking meat?
One of the things you can do, besides marinating the meat, is to use a meat thermometer to cook the meat, and only cook the meat to a temperature where it's fully cooked and not overcooked. Because when parts of the meat become charred, or when drippings from the meat hit the fire and flare up, it causes greater production of these potential carcinogens and increases the risk.
That's interesting, because a lot of people like that flaring up and getting the meat charred.
Exactly.
Kind of the fun of it. So should we be afraid of grilling on Memorial Day weekend?
No, I think the message is not to be afraid of grilling on Memorial Day weekend, but to be a little bit cautious. I don't think anyone's going to eat enough grilled red meat on Memorial Day weekend to increase their risk for colon or stomach cancer, but I think in people who consume large amounts of grilled meat, particularly red meat, over a long period of time, they may have an increased risk.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, Doctor, and giving us some very interesting information. Now, if you have a medical question, email us at housecalls@cbs3springfield.com, and we'll ask it to a doctor or a medical professional during one of these live Skype interviews.